Hey, boys and girls, today I want to read you a story called Stephanie's Ponytail, and I'm going to try to read it on here so you can see it better, and we'll see if we can figure out a good solution here. But this is one of my favorite stories. It's by Robert Munsch, and it's illustrated by Michael Marchenko. It's a really funny story, and I love this story because it reminds me of when I was a kid. My mom never let me wear my hair down. I always had to have it up in some kind of ponytail, and this book is called Stephanie's Ponytail. One day, Stephanie went to her mom and said, "None of the kids in my class have a ponytail. I want a nice ponytail coming right out the back." So Stephanie's mom gave her a nice ponytail coming right out the back. When Stephanie went to school, the other kids looked at her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." The next morning, when Stephanie went to school, all the other girls had ponytails coming out the back. Stephanie looked at them and said, "You're all a bunch of copycats. You just do whatever I do. You don't have a brain in your heads." The next morning, Mom said, "Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out the back?" Stephanie said, "No." "Then that's that," said her mom. "That's the only place you can do ponytails." "No, it's not," said Stephanie. "I want one coming out the side just above my ear." "Very strange," said the mom. "Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming right out above her ear. When she went to school, the other kids looked at her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." The next morning, when Stephanie came to school, all the girls and even some of the boys had nice ponytails coming out just above their ears. I want to stop here for a second and tell you something. Something a good reader does is they stop and they think about the story and they can jot down their ideas. And today I want us to talk about what you picture in your mind. Now, right now, when I read those words, I'm thinking about the boys having a ponytail coming out just above their ears. And I have some funny thoughts about what that might look like. Okay, so let's take a look at what the illustrator had. Now here's some of the boys. Look, his little tiny ponytail coming out. This guy's got a ponytail on the side coming out above his ears. Stephanie does not look happy. The next morning, the mom said, "Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out the back?" Stephanie said, "No." "Would you like one coming out the side?" "No." "Then that's that," said her mom. "There's no other place you can do ponytails." "Yes, there is," said Stephanie. "I want one coming out the top of my head like a tree." "That's very, very strange," said her mom. "Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. So I can see the picture there, but in my mind, I see a really funny ponytail coming out right the top of her head and coming down over it. I wonder what her classmates are going to think about this picture. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out the top of her head like a tree. When Stephanie went to school, the other kids saw her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." The next day, all the boys and all the girls and all the boys had ponytails coming out the top. It looked like broccoli was growing out of their heads. Now, when I saw those words, broccoli growing out of their heads, I had a super funny picture in my mind about what that looked like. Let's take a look at what the author saw. This picture makes me laugh because even the dog has a little ponytail and the cat have ponytails coming out their head, and the birds. The next morning, the mom said, "Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out the back?" Stephanie said, "No." "Would you like one coming out the side?" "No." "Would you like one coming out the top?" "No." "Then that is definitely that," said the mom. "There's no other place you can do ponytails." "Yes, there is," said Stephanie. "I want one coming out the front and hanging down in front of my nose." Now look at the picture. That seems to be a problem. If you have long hair, a ponytail coming out the front is going to be a problem. "But nobody will know if you're coming or going," said her mom. "Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out the front. On the way to school, she bumped into 4 trees, 3 cars, 2 houses, and 1 principal. When she finally got to her class, the other kids looked at her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." Now I'm picturing in my mind her running into the principal and having a really scared look on her face when she ran into the principal. And I'm thinking the principal's looking at this kid wondering, why is there a ponytail in front of your face? The next day, all the girls and all the boys and even the teacher had ponytails coming out the front and hanging down in front of their noses. None of them could see where they were going. They bumped into desks and they bumped into each other and they bumped into walls, and by mistake, 3 girls went into the boys' bathroom. Take a look at what's going on with all these ponytails coming down the front. Even the teacher's got a ponytail in the front. Stephanie yelled, "You are a bunch of brainless copycats. You just do whatever I do. When I come to school tomorrow, I'm going to have shaved my head." Oh my goodness. I have got a picture in my mind of the shaved heads. Everybody's been copying her. I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. The first person to come the next day was the teacher. She said she had shaved her head and was bald. The next to come were the boys. They had shaved their heads and they were bald. The next to come were the girls. They had shaved their heads and they were bald. The last person to come was Stephanie, and she had, what's your prediction? A nice little ponytail coming right out the back. Is that the picture you had in your mind? Everyone's bald but Stephanie. And the last picture is she's running, and all the bald people are running after her because now they can't copy her anymore. They have no hair. So let's talk about something that good readers do. Good readers, when they're reading along, they can stop and think and then jot. And one of the things they can jot is the picture in their mind. Okay, so I'm going to start with a picture. I'm going to put a P and a little circle around it. And I'm going to say what they picture in their minds. That's one thing a good reader might jot about. They're getting their thinking going. So today, what I want you to do is I want you to get your reading response journal. Okay. Now I'm going to pretend that I'm the kid. I just read the book Stephanie's Ponytail, so I'm going to write Stephanie's Ponytail. And I'm going to put the date so I always know what date I did this. You're going to be doing this on August the 19th, I think. Okay. Then I'm going to write what I pictured in my mind. Okay. So then I'm going to write about, let's see, which part of the story do I want to write about when I pictured in my mind? I think I'm going to write about when she bumped into the principal. Okay. Today, when I was reading, I pictured Stephanie with a ponytail coming out the front. I saw her bump into the principal and then look worried because I thought she would be afraid when she bumped into the principal. Okay. Now, if you want, after you finish your writing, you could draw a picture of Stephanie bumping into the principal with the ponytail coming out the front. I'm not going to take time to do that, but you could draw a picture if you wanted to of that. Okay. But that's what I want your writing to look like. So today, as you're reading, I want you to choose a book that's just right for you and read it. And I want you to stop as you're going along and picture some things in your mind and write it down on your journal as you're going. Okay. That's something that good readers do. So good luck being a good reader today.